So as a newborn, if baby, is sleeping and you're feeling that, you hear them sort of choking and you panic and, you can kwewa. I did that. I would go literally and suck out the mucus that's stuck in his nose. Or later on, then I bought the little mucus sucker that you can buy and you stick it up and you pull out the mucus just to help him breathe. But he'll be fine. He's just getting into the system, so don't panic. Anyway, let's get back to the Noah story. Anyway, Sejane, when we went back and life continued with Yambuko, the night before, or a couple nights before, when he had the problem with the choking on his mucus and his systems inside, from the day that Mbuya did that, he never had that problem again. So I'm not here saying, Kutijo, please hear me clearly. I am not saying the way to fix it is to go to an Mbuya who stick your finger down and pull out the grog or whatever it is. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that for me, that's what happened. He never had a problem anymore. He would sleep throughout the night. I wasn't worried about him choking on anything or on his own grog. He was fine. Although I must say, remember she told me to go home and mix that concussion and be rubbing on the top of his gum, because she said that there's a white spot that's there where I think is where the gum joins and the body is still building, baby's still building. So there's a rough patch. She had said I must keep rubbing until that patch is soft. I never did that. And Yambuko's 4 years old now, and he's perfect and he's fine and it's soothed over and he's good and he's great. Enter baby Alex. So Alex is born, everything is fine, and then along comes our house help, bless her, thank you so much. And she, one day, she comes in once a week. Hi, Nana. Okay, that's my son Yambuko there. See, and he's perfectly fine, eating his fingers now, but he doesn't have a problem anymore. And everything is sealed. He's 4, it should be. So anyway, back to the My Samantha story. Shout out My Samantha, who's a house help. Anyway, My Samantha comes, and Alex had been very whiny and cryy for about 2-3 days, yeah. And he's to me, he seemed to be puking a lot. Number one, I had changed his formula from none to lactogen, because in Zim here, none is just, it's so difficult to find, and it was getting so exorbitant in paying for it, so it was just so expensive. So I decided to try lactogen, and everybody was saying, don't switch, oh, he'll react. No, it won't work, no. And so when he was beginning to vomit, not vomit actually, babies don't vomit, just the puke, the throw up from what babies do, when they drink milk, especially when you don't burp him correctly, I now panicked and thought there's something wrong with him. So when she came, I said, no, my Samantha, Alex, I don't go to chi. Oh my goodness. She grabbed the child and she's like, oh, it is very, oh my goodness. There was pandemonium in the house. It was horrible. I went into panic mode. She did the taking of salt, salt up her, and she quizzed that on his hand and under his foot and said, so you need to find a space. You're so chucking. Look for someone right now. Honey, it was terrible. I had no money. I had no car. I had a car, there was no fuel. If you live in Zim, you know the fuel crisis. I didn't have money. I had no time to go to join a fuel queue. So it was really hectic. Anyway, I borrowed money. I had to call the taxi. Takamanya. Ep2, and I live up in the burbs in H-Town, y'all. So we had to go all the way Kachana to that end of town, where a lady who is of the Postori, believe the Postori sect or faith, but apparently she's very good with children as well. And she took the baby very calmly and washed her hands. We were under a tree, just outside her house actually. She basically said, buy a lemon and some salt, coarse salt, and some cooking oil. And I went off, me and my no money, having to borrow from people and all that. So I went and I did that. We dashed back to her again, and she did the same mix as what happened that time from Rewa, and she rubbed and said, no, he'll be fine. She also put her finger in and pulled out, she had a white cloth she was using and pulled out some, Nana, listen, Mommy's talking right now, so you can't be here. Go and play. Anditi, please. Anditi, okay. Totamba manje, Anditi kamonongo. Mama wangu tawa, okay. Off you go. Take your shoes. Off you go. Okay. Sorry. Okay. And she did it with the cloth this time. Unlike Kumusha, where it was just the fingers, she used the cloth and, I looked at the cloth and there was some mucus on it. And then she said, but anyway, don't panic. But when you get home, continue and give him lots and lots of water. Now, here in Zimbabwe, when you go to the clinic, especially cancer clinics, and with newborn baby, I don't know why, but they insist, Nyaya Kutizo, don't give the baby water. And I don't get it. Because what happened is when I got back home, I was still very panicked, and I felt like he was getting a fever and all that stuff. And so I decided still to, another friend of mine then came after I'd called her. So when I got home, she was there, and she said, Nana, quiet. Another friend of mine was home, and she said, Tin, I don't know where you've been or whatever it is, let's go to the doctor. So we ran over to the emergency services by Kensington. Shout out to those people, man. The doctors there and the nurses are on point. And, doctor took Alex and looked at him and checked. And basically what he checked for firstly was how sunken the fontanel was. And he was like, no, it's fine, it's not that bad. He asked me questions, are you giving him water, are you giving him fluids? I said, no, I don't give him water, because at the clinic, that's what they tell you. He was about 4 months then. And he said, are you breastfeeding? No, I didn't breastfeed because I got mastitis, which is something we'll talk about in another episode. So he went straight to formula from 2 weeks after birth. And so he was like, no, you need to be giving him water. He's healthy and he's fine, and he's just, probably slightly dehydrated. So dehydration means fluid, right? Next, also he checked for, and I think these are things that you can also check at home before you start panicking like what I did. Checked for elasticity of the skin, checked for moisture in the mouth and the eyes, and he said that baby was fine. And he said, just let's not panic. In fact, what he did say was, and I told him, Kuti, I'd gone to the traditional aspect, our cultural aspect, and gone to Mbuya to handle the Noah. And what he said to me, I remember, he said, why do you let those people touch the babies? That's exactly what he said. Having a 4-year-old and trying to do this. Listen to me, listen to mommy. Go and play, please. Napota, anditi. Okay. And he actually said, but why? He looked at me and he said, Miss Tintin, but why do you go? And he actually said, why do you let these people handle babies? So I had to reassure that it was clean and all that, because it was quite a concern. Anyway, listen. The reason why, because I asked a question, I said, how come white people's kids, I got lots of white friends here, shout out to all my girls from Chizzy and Hillcrest and yada yada. Why is it that you never hear Nyaye Noah or a child Akafa died from Nyaye Noah from white folk kids here in Amazimzim? Why do we only hear from black people? My research now on baby number 2, the answer is very, very simple. Nyaye Noah, guys, it's dehydration. Mwana does not have enough fluids in their body. So therefore, dehydration and our bodies are mostly water, as you know. So once there's no water, obviously, the fontanel will drop and be sunken because the child is dehydrated. Why? Because from the time they're born till, I don't know, 2-3 months, we put it up, whether it's 30 degrees outside coming out of the hospital. Go figure my socks, go figure hit 6-7 blankets on. Yo, I did that with Yambuku. I did not do that with Alex. And if you see any pictures of Alex now, if you go onto my Instagram page, you'll see it's a big boy. And I treat him just like a human being. Yes, of course he's a baby, and yes, his temperatures are a bit different to ours. But come on, ndapota hangu. We are forcing the child to be dehydrated by the way to not put it at all, wrap the child. The child is a month, 2 months, and the child now has got all this heat rash, and worse, you're not giving the child water because the clinic says don't give the baby water, which I don't know. I'm not here to say they're wrong. I'm just saying that for me, that was a bad move. I gave my son water, you understand? I drown him, and he loves water, thank God. All my kids love water. I give them water. And now he's on solids, I give him even more water. So wrapping the baby up, how we do, especially as Rashona people put it on one and all, it causes dehydration, guys. Then we say, aita dehydrated in one ashaya. So my plea right now is, firstly, do give your comments, please. What is your take about Noah? I'm not here to diss my culture. I'm not here to distance from it. I'm so proud to be Shona. I adhere to as much as I can, but also I use my medulla oblongata. I also use reasoning, gatite practical. We're living in a world that everything is at our fingertips. Be careful of Google though, because Google can get you panicked as well. The best thing that you can do, if you suspect any problem here, Noah, dehydration, number one, go to it's a baby. Go to the pediatrician, go to your doctor, let him check it out. It's okay, it's worth it, it's your baby, and so just do the right thing. Number two, it's dehydration, guys. We've got to keep the kids hydrated. We've got to keep the kids hydrated. Yes, kind of where they are, wrap the baby up. But generally speaking, like now, look how beautiful the day is. You're going to find right now somebody with their 1-month-old is wrapped up this child in three blankets and a hat and socks. Then Noah. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Do subscribe, please. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate what we do here is we discuss how to raise our kids in Amazimzim in this environment. Catch me next time. Thank you.